Would you like some cheese? We're not recording yet.
Is this definitely plugged in?
There is cheese. Yeah.
There is a light underneath.
I also have 3 fucking cheeses in my bag. I partially thought I was cheese for this week, and then I realized I was topic, and I already had the cheese bought, and I was like, oh.
Just meats.
It only works with this open?
Burnham. Okay, fine.
Is it? Well, you heard that.
Oopsies.
All right.
Would you mind
The
just
mic
putting
is
it
now
on?
live.
We are actually legit live.
Yeah.
100%?
We're legit live.
I'm just going to go through. I'm just going to look at the camera and say we're live. We're good.
It's live.
Hey, we're live. Through technical difficulties, we're live. Welcome to Left Right Cab. My name is Tanner Hall, and
I'm Travis Pajoli.
I'm Jake Rutter.
And we have a live audience that is picking at our cheese and cured meats.
You got Antonio here, as always.
Our friend Tony, the lovely Kelsey, Anna, and Sal, we will be crowdsourcing questions to you guys when we are in a dilemma. We need a 5th or 6th opinion.
Not about rap, apparently.
Not about rap, apparently. Oh man, there's two or three people that I know were hacking us hard. Here's the bracket you should have done, and were submitting me emailing me brackets. How is Snoop Dogg not even in this?
Snoop Dogg doesn't belong in any bracket.
And a bracket? Okay, we're not starting this now. This is a debate show that's not really a debate show, even though that was almost a debate that just happened right there. We discussed politics. I almost said suck dicks instead of discuss.
We do that too.
We also discussed.
So. We also discussed, at least 50% of the viewers. Politics, history, philosophy, current events, pop culture. We discuss it, debate it, exchange ideas, and try to come to a consensus on a variety of different topics. While doing that, we also drink a different wine every week, always Cabernet Sauvignon, and we each cured cheeses and meats because we're starving and it's delicious.
We just slowly add more things to this podcast every week.
Eventually, we're going to have a trifle, some desserts.
This is our dessert.
A pretty.
We're going to have a fromagerie.
I mean, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We started with 1 cheese, and now we're at 3.
It's 3.
And cured meat.
For social media.
Something about social media. I guess this is a thing.
Trying to do a better job of sharing our
So, each week it rotates. So one of us gets the wine, one of us chooses the topic we'll be talking about in the first part of the show, and then other people get the cheeses and the meats. I actually got cheeses and meats, but I forgot I was on topic tonight. But I picked a topic anyways that I'm kind of excited about. But first, Jake got wine?
I got one.
Jake got wine. This is this week's wine.
So this week's wine is called the Great American Wine Company by Rose and Bloom Distillery. It's a 2016 Cabernet Sauvignon.
I just want the audience to remember we are coming off of a solid silver medal. Because last week was...
last week...
I would say it's gold.
Over
medal.
3 finger... Oh, we haven't reviewed Finger Jack. Okay.
Yes,
so with the exception of the Constant Chase wine, Oberon is currently leading.
Yeah.
It's the #1 pick.
You're right.
Which, if I've learned anything, just means I'm the only one on the show with good fucking taste.
Or the wallet to afford good wine.
All right, I'm gonna read the back of this for you guys, okay? It's full of romantic.
I saw the back of it.
Words.
I saw the back of it, and
very American forward.
I'm very pro it.
So, of course you would be. Celebrate the pioneering spirit of American winemaking with the Great American Wine Company, a line of classic American varietals from Rose and Bloom cellars. In tribute to our American heroes, we donate to military charities. Proudly made in the USA, our Cabernet Sauvignon is round and smooth, with flavors of ripe berries and toasty oak. I've actually heard of this winery before, and I've heard good things. That's why I bought it.
See,
fun
Travis
fact that I brought up originally.
Travis got nervous.
Yeah, whenever you see something specifically with a red wine talking about notes of toasty oak, it generally means that it's cheaper, that the quality is not as good.
Well, let's find out.
Very high tannins for it.
Show him wrong. Crush him with this $40. Crush him with this $40 bottle right now.
For instance, Chardonnays, you do look for a toasty oak taste because of the barrels that's on it. Cabs, you don't usually. So,
cheers, gentlemen.
Does anyone else have some wine? Tony,
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay, it's not Oberon.
Ain't Oberon.
That's metallic-y.
To give an added element to it, it is a twist-off cork.
Good.
Great when you don't.
I just heard it. Wait, I don't know if the mic picked it up. I heard Antonio go. He's looking dismally into the glass.
This is not good.
I'm not in love with it.
I love it.
That's fine.
It's
Keep in
super-
mind, though, this vineyard, maybe for just this wine, or maybe their entire portfolio, they're donating money to a lot of military charities, which, based on the taste, I'm assuming is not a lot of a like it's not a big write-off.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Yeah,
Thank you for your service and thank you for your charitable donations. However,
Your wine's not that good.
I would rather, depending on how much this costs, I would rather just donate that directly.
the wine.
The cost of the bottle.
Oh, the cost of the
Just-
bottle. I think meant the wine. Like, here, soldier, drink up. All right, maybe second pass after you have some cheese and grass.
I mean, is it the worst wine we've had on the podcast? No.
Absolutely not.
It's definitely bottom
For rating.
20%.
For rating, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna be.
We've had
Don't
some.
eat
We've had
this
some
meat
shitty
And then
acidic.
drink that. Don't.
I'll say this.
I can't not.
We've
That's
had-
like if someone's saying, "Hey, try this. It tastes terrible." You're like, "Of course, I'm gonna try it."
There's something metallic-y in this.
We've had the problem.
I
My
know what
problem.
you're saying.
My only defense is that we've had. This wine doesn't have like the worst wines we've had have been like really acidic, like to the point of like battery
It's super
acid.
high in sulfite. Guarantee you, is
This
there a
is
giant
not
part on there
bad.
that says contains sulfites? Is it on that bottle somewhere?
It does right there. It's huge. It does say contains sulfites.
This one's not too bad in the sulfites though, compared to other ones we've had. Like longevity, it's just straight battery acid.
I tell you what, I can tell you right now. You also bought a bottle of Tisdale, which we know is like a joke, like $2 to $4 bottle.
It's better than this. Tisdale flavor-wise better than
Yeah,
this.
probably.
I would probably agree.
I've had
Now-
we've had the Tisdale just casually.
Rating.
I'm
Let's start with Antonio.
Antonio. Oh, here it comes.
He always goes last, so
Gooser.
You know, I gave it a 2.5.
it's like
The extra half for dryness.
it's like the second
It
highest score.
it do be dry.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
dry.
At the end,
Yeah, it
it
is
does.
dry.
It do.
But it's empty. Very hollow flavor.
It's just tannins and
Yeah.
like
Empty
it's-
flavor.
I'm trying it with the cheese, and then I'm trying to find.
I want it.
A pairing.
I want it to be better than it is for sure.
I'm trying to find it like, oh, maybe this sharp cheese will be good with it. I'm trying to find a pairing that
I
will work.
don't like this at all. I keep drinking it.
All
I
right.
have a question.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just the way it works. Hold on.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
it leads a fucking film on this.
Yeah, film. There's the film. Okay, you
So
saw.
I'm looking at this glass.
As I tipped it down, a
and
clear.
There's a clear. Usually, getting like legs on a bottle, a
You can't-
glass is fine.
When I tipped it
This is
down
a
at the
film.
base of white
Yeah.
clear
I wonder if you can see it on camera.
liquid, it's
Kinda.
going to be difficult.
You can kind of see it right here.
But I tilted. It caught my eye when I tilted it down, and I saw it
Yeah.
fall trail behind
It-
it.
it
It's
is-
almost like a slime.
Yeah.
So commonly,
No offense, Great American Wine. We're sorry we're hacking this to pieces, but
it's pretty
goddamn.
low on the, it's
Oh, I
pretty
see
low on
it.
the list, yeah. What? Okay, here's the question. What Walking Dead's worse than this?
Walking
Yeah.
Dead is worse than this. Mencia is not, and that says a lot for me because I despise that Mencia.
I didn't even see it that much, but it was.
You guys want to sample all this? After our massive praise, like, hey, this tastes like shit. Try it.
I'm gonna give it a flat 4.
Oh, that's so high.
Yeah,
That's so high, Jake. It's like I'm at like
I'll be the
I was,
Antonio tonight.
You want a 0?
I was at a 3.
I'm not at a 0. I am at
I
like
can see a
a
3.
2. I am a 2.
I'd take a 3 or a 4.
I'm at a 3.
4 is me trying to be generous because I paid too much for it.
Yeah, no, just off taste.
I've not tried this dill yet. Let me just-
It does very. It's a dill Havarti.
The cheese is much better than the wine. There's no question.
Yeah.
This is really.
All right. Let's hear prices.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jake.
Antonio first.
Okay, great. Catch up. This or Albertoni?
Albertoni.
Yes.
I'll take Albertoni over this one.
My problem with Albertoni is like I can't even bring up its flavor in my mouth. Like it was so fucking.
Oh, you'll
forgettable.
forget this in an hour.
Yeah, it's
There's
also
nothing about
that's the thing. It is forgettable. It's not offensively bad. It's just forgettably like empty.
Yeah, which is why like I won't give it a 0 because someone, or I'm sorry, some automated machine.
This or Carlo
made
Rossi.
this. I'll take a jug of Carlo Rossi.
Carlo Rossi.
Oh, no, see.
That
I'll
should
take
be our
Rossi.
barometer, right? Carlo Rossi.
Box.
Oh,
Butter Box over this every day.
Yeah.
Boy Box is actually good.
I buy Boda Box.
We should
like
we
for
should
my
Butter
day
Box
my day to day.
on stream sometime.
Yes,
Right.
my
I'm
day to day wine is boxed wine.
2.5, 2,
Two.
3, 3 to 4.
I'll go 3.5. I'm
Okay.
trying to give it a little, just trying to like average up a bit.
That's fair.
This is
We're
such
grading
a
on a
departure
We'll
from
get-
fucking Oberon.
We'll give it.
This is
So we'll
just-
say it's about a 3 on average ish.
3.5. Okay.
We'll call it a 3 across the board.
Yeah, this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Price. Antonio, you started first. You can go first again
I'll put it for now. Use it.
after the third break.
12. 13, no, 13. 13.
I know it's so high.
13.
It's gonna pain me when I hear this number. Travis?
So up until when you said I
Oh.
spent too much money on it,
Okay.
I was saying this is an $8.99.
$10 is too much money for this wine, so keep that in mind.
Yeah,
$8.99.
That's what you're saying?
I'm saying $8.99.
I think it's $11.99. I think they mark it up slightly bit because the money is going to go. Some of it's going to go to the charity, so they still need to make their overhead. So
Well, if I just said $45.
and then
I would
my
immediately
God,
tell you to
mine.
go back, write them, and say this. Either this bottle is just like
again
and
tainted.
sometimes
Maybe,
this honestly tastes like one of those times when it's just like the
Bad
bottle
batch.
was bad.
Yeah.
There's a chance that maybe it tastes good in another one,
Mhm.
just because of how like. And for homebrewing, you need to like off gas some stuff a little bit.
Yes.
A similar thing exists with fermenting wine, but like,
I mean, what you and I make our wines.
yeah, this is too structured to be an accident. So that's why I think it's just bad wine.
we love you no matter what you say here. No.
$17.99.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
jeez.
I win. I'm closest without going over. Mm.
No, it's at 13.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
What did I say?
11.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind. Damn, I lost.
That is
17.
that is the exact same or comparable price point to Three Finger Jack,
I know.
and that is a terrifying thought to me.
17.
But that said,
Okay, so then we can at least say
don't
Walking
buy-
Dead is worse, but as terms of value to taste, this is worse value.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Hands down. This isn't even a I'm gonna buy it.
The sad thing
Give
about
it
this
to
is
someone.
I was at the liquor store today, and Oberon was in front of, like, next to this wine, and I was like, I wish I could just buy Oberon.
Do you know why I
someone
don't
here is gonna be like, maybe these are similar.
You know what's nice that people might watching this can actually kind of trust this? All four unanimously said the same thing.
Mhm.
It's not like one person is just
In
all
love
hot
with
in
this
love
wine.
with it, and,
Yeah.
and three were like, it's like usually we're all pretty on the same page. It's
and-
great,
yeah.
it's okay, it's bad.
Right.
So we're not crazy.
And we have different tastes too.
right, and we're willing to give things benefits of the doubt.
Antonio's really like he likes the Shirazes. He's like really fucking dry, pepper forward.
And I'm a sweet boy.
Yeah, you're a sweet boy.
But I'm willing to. I can recognize quality when I taste it, even if it's in
Right.
the drier category.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely couldn't when we started this podcast. But
Yeah, I still
No.
like
My palate has definitely matured since we started. There's no question about it.
so if anyone's just like, oh, maybe they're just no, it's
Yeah.
4-0 bad. So
yeah, I will say
do not buy this one.
very frequently, like sometimes it can be
At least not for
snobby.
$17.99. You got four.
Yeah,
if you find
again,
this in
I
the
would-
$4.99 bin, maybe.
They will be there eventually, probably.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I'm at that price point. I just genuinely hope it maybe is a bad bottle, but like
Find the military charities they donate to and just give them the $17.99.
that would be money better spent.
And this come from a pacifist who was very anti-military. I'd rather you donate the money directly to the military.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jake.
It's all right.
We tried. Sometimes you got to throw a dart, and
Yeah.
you know it could stick. We did that with Three Finger Jack, right? We had never had it before.
It was.
Throw a dart.
So when I bought it originally, and that was the second wine because I think it was longevity.
Yeah.
Would you guys rate Three Finger Jack?
It is like a near unanimous perfect 10.
Oh, wow.
Perfect 10.
Oberon is a very close second.
Well, because
What we had the last
if you think about
We've
it,
never had Three Finger Jack be the feature wine on the show, though. It was a set. We killed the first one, and we said, let's try this Three Finger Jack, and it was just like,
if you think
Dumbass.
about like a scale, right? So in the wines we've had on the time here, we've not had a complete 0. We've not had a complete 10. If there is such a 10, Three Finger Jack is it. If there is such a 0, longevity kind of is it.
Longevity, the Walking Dead one.
Longevity is worse than Walking
This.
Dead.
By the price point, though,
there's a
Bottom
Rushmore.
tier.
If there's a Rushmore of bad,
If
yeah.
you just take price out of it, though, longevity is just so fucking gross battery acid, undrinkable.
Yeah.
Tisdale's better than this. I would agree with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wish we were drinking Tisdale.
Carlo Rossi is better.
That's why I bought a bottle of Tisdale, because it's
Yeah.
like passable.
Color Rossi's better.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, yeah.
I would rather have the jug of Rossi.
I want that Rossi sangria jug.
alrighty.
So
Great American Wine, we gave you a shot.
yeah,
Didn't work out.
unfortunately, it
I
didn't
probably,
stick.
I probably won't buy another Great American Wine.
Probably that is a safe bet. But again,
Nice,
is a chance if someone-
nice logo design though.
That's pretty bottle.
And if someone from this company wants us to do a second shot on this and give us a better bottle of it,
Yeah.
fucking
Like,
buy.
try
Once again, I'm
And you gotta
always-
understand, you don't send us a Riesling, don't send us the Merlot. We are a cab show. If you have,
Yeah.
if you for some reason perfect the batch and want to give us a free bottle of wine to try it again, we'll give it another shot.
Yeah,
But-
I'm
A Redux review, as it is.
one of the concerns with kind of twist tops, though,
Ah,
more so. More
Why
so
did
than
you
an
bore me
actual-
more? Stop! I don't want this wine.
it's getting worse the more you
I
drink.
want the
So
Tisdale
I'm genuinely hoping
or this
that.
sour beer I have over here.
Palate
Yeah,
cleanser.
so like,
Top okay.
yeah, hands down, Finch Brewing Company out of Chicago. Macro Brewery kind of masquerades as a.
Given the peer pressure.
Holy shit. Finch is one of like the better macro brews.
Yeah, they're like a mid macro. Like
Finch is owned by like Anheuser-Busch, I think.
no, they're not. Are they?
Yeah, they're not independent.
They got bought out then because they used
Yeah,
to be.
they were bought out maybe like a couple of years ago. They stopped doing hardcore Chimera over it. So, what do you think?
No,
No.
it's
So,
pretty bad.
Yeah. It
Do you,
is.
am I crazy? Is there like a metallic-y
Taste
like-
And now to eat something delicious.
These cheeses are fucking awesome.
This is fantastic. These I like. I'm not
This is the best spread we've had without blue cheese on it.
agree. The dill I'm indifferent on in general, but
I-
these two are
oh, man, I
fantastic.
love the dill.
These two are fantastic.
I'm really into that
Yep.
dill.
So, fun fact: the garlic herb chev, which is the soft goat cheese towards the front of the board, for like the
Is that the one we
pound,
normally get?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say like this
Yeah.
tastes a lot like the normal one.
it's generally like a go-to chev for me. It comes in like a giant tube. It's great, and it's also like $4. It is cheap, affordable, really delicious. These other two,
I have seen those in Stop and Shop, Shaw's, and Big
Mhm.
Y. I've seen them in all three. So if you want the goat cheese, garlic herb and cheese, it's very, very good.
I also am a big fan of the Cayuga Blue, which is not from Connecticut. I looked it up. It's from
Oh, hey, I have a question.
Pennsylvania, I think.
Do you guys like? Because I saw these for the first time. I didn't know this was a thing. Blue cheese stuffed olives.
Well,
I don't like olives to begin with, so
That's
usually-
I do.
usually-
Very good.
Yeah, they're very good.
So the blue cheese stuffed olives. I saw another one. Maybe it's pimento cheese stuffed olives as well.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you guys are a fan of dairy martinis, but that was really well.
So blue cheese. Okay. Because I'm not a crazy fan of olives, but and I'm also not a crazy fan of blue cheese.
Put together.
I don't. Maybe it's good.
Better than the sum of the parts.
Yeah. So I made
Oh,
sure to
yeah.
take photos on these for it. This is the Yama Valley Havarti dill, so it's a Danish cheese.
I really fucking like that dough.
I'm gonna try it one more time. Maybe I got like a mid.
I like,
I'm
I,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
I like all the cheeses that are on the board right now. Like hands down.
It was some good stuff.
Like competitive cheeses. Like these hold up against other really good cheese.
I actually really like the so the harder cheese here is from Milton
Dill
Creamery.
Havarti is kind of bland.
It's a
to
salt.
me.
It's a
bland
salt.
to me.
After a
Right, but
lot of these
flavor-wise,
other
it's bland.
Well, see, your palate's getting blown out.
yeah,
That's what's happening.
a sour with this is not a good pairing. You won't be able to taste like
You
anything.
need like a palate cleanser first, honestly.
Battery acid.
Water,
Battery
wench.
acid.
Fetch us a pail of water.
Yeah.
Something
But I
raspberries.
do like the Milton Creamery. Yeah, so it's Milton Creamery's Prairie Breeze. I bought it because the label had nothing on it. It just said cheese, like made in Iowa. This is Iowa condensed into a form of cheese. And I was like, all right, let's see. We'll see how this goes.
So wines, bad. Cheese, great. We're on two ends of the spectrum tonight.
Oh, you gotta like this Havarti. It's so good.
Yeah, these are fantastic. This
The Havarti might actually be my favorite on the board.
no.
My favorite time is the Milton.
Yeah,
Milton's also very
Cheese is
good.
good.
The Havarti is really delectable.
That's these two. Sorry.
It's a more subtle flavor.
Yeah.
If by subtle you mean absent, then yes.
No.
it is there. Dill,
When you say dill, I'm used to.
it's not kick you in the face pickle.
No,
like,
no, no.
Right, that's what I'm expecting when you say dill.
Oh, yeah.
And then
No.
it's not, so my brain is just like, this is just
It's like,
All
ever
the
had dill potatoes before? It's like that level of dill.
dill
Like-
potato
like-
chips too.
No, like dill,
The roasted
potatoes. Yeah,
I probably have. Have you had this yet?
Oh, it's really-
It's alright.
really
Yes,
good.
it's all right.
It's
No,
good.
no, it's
Like,
good.
I like these ones
The
more.
other way. Thank you, Sal.
But,
Sal, a man of culture.
See this collared shirt? He's the only one in a collar.
A man of loud tastes only is what I'm hearing. It's really good.
Alrighty.
I think this one.
The buttery-
first.
Yeah.
The
This one?
butteriness to that.
To
I do
transition-
like that one the most.
To transition
I can
into the
accept
topic
that.
for the evening.
But this is definitely a close.
It is very good.
I do like it. Yeah, this was big hits for charcuterie.
Absolutely.
It's got such-
Now I just need a great topic for the next
Well,
episode.
that was left, right, cab.
And
Left, right,
then
cab.
I'll have the hat trick.
Wine, cheese. Man, we probably would get more viewers if we were just a 30-minute podcast and we just reviewed wine and cheese.
Probably. Probably.
All of a sudden we started getting fucking up our own ass with it. With all this political bullshit.
Well, the good news
What
is
was I
we're not
thinking?
on politics tonight.
Tonight, no. I
Yeah,
wanted
we'll
to go,
probably get there.
wanted to go a
We'll get
different
there.
direction. So I have been binging. The topic tonight I want to talk about is mental illness, in particular hoarding. So Netflix released their new season of Hoarders,
Mhm.
and they changed the format. So now it used to be on like Hulu and other things like that. I guess like Netflix bought the rights, and instead what they used to do was one episode, 44 minutes, and it would follow two stories, and an A line and a B line, and you never really got to see a lot of the stuff. Sometimes it would focus a little more on one than the other. I didn't like the format. The new season is like whatever, 10 episodes, 90 minutes each, one story.
Oh, wow.
And they go deep into the family drama. They go deep into the hoard. They start digging. And it's like they show the behind the scenes shit and the conversations and the fights and the drama. It's great. It's anxiety driving, and your chest gets tight, and you're like, oh, like and some of the you understand it's a mental condition. I get it, but some of the people are just terrible people. They're literally just terrible people, regardless
They're
of
like,
being
I'm,
hoarders or
saving,
not.
I'm saving these newspapers so that the media lizard people don't change
No, it's
the
not
news
even
on
that.
it.
That's
you got like 500 dead cats in your house.
it's like I have all this stuff.
God.
I squandered all my life savings because I'm going to eventually sell this shit one day, but you left it out in the weather for 18 years and it's rusted and gone. No one can buy it except for scrap metal. And you think you're going to have a fortune. You're sitting on a gold mine and you're not. No one wants, and they end up chucking like 18 dumpsters worth of it's crazy. So my topic tonight was, well, first I want to say, please watch the new series on Netflix. It's fantastic the way they did it. Second, does anyone here know or have a family member or loved one that would be considered a hoarder? Are they themselves probably feel like they could be a hoarder if they didn't keep it in check? And three, talk about the things that trigger these mental illnesses. Usually it's a loss of someone, death, the kids leave the house. There was one woman that was a fecophiliac and actually enjoyed touching poop, eating poop, being around poop. Yeah, so many different things. I have some statistics on the phone that we can talk
It's
about.
weird to me that Fecophilia was on Hoarders and not on like My Strange Addiction now.
It might.
So I wanted to go immediately to My Strange Addiction after that, because I always wonder how much of that's actually there's someone who
We talked about this many
Yeah.
times.
someone
The fact-
being in love with a roller coaster, and
The
then
jibs.
the jibs.
Jibs.
Going back to hoarding.
I have some statistics like why certain men hoard and why or who hoards women. More women or men.
Men who hoard women.
Men who hoard women.
They have a term for that.
Harems.
It's called a sex trafficker.
Yes. Who hoards more, men or women, and why, and at
Sometimes
what
known as
ages?
chastity.
There was one story on there that's clearly this girl was abused by her father, sexually,
Yeah.
and she was just so disillusioned from reality that she found solace in her items, and that's what her escape was, and to surround herself with so much stuff that mentally her father couldn't get to her. It's very sad and tragic and dark,
That's
and
rough.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
rough.
And so I just want to talk about first question: do you have anyone in your lives that are hoarders? My grandmother.
My
for me.
dad, to some extent.
My grandmother was a massive go to antique flea market, swaps, whatever, and just buy, and just fill.
My
Her
dad's
house
better
was
now,
filled.
but yeah, definitely we had some problems with that when I was younger. He just doesn't his comes from more of that never throw anything away. Anything
Yeah,
good
he's
useful.
like a child of
Exactly.
people raised in the Depression.
Exactly.
That's sort of that mentality.
Margaret Thatcher,
Something,
paganism,
You don't know when you'll
Methodist.
get something like this again, and it'll cost money when you do need it. So you might as
why
well
spend
save.
the money again?
I mean, there are people who fold out aluminum foil,
Yeah.
and they're like, I have to save this.
Yep.
'cause
My
this is
ex girlfriend's grandmother used to after you would dry your hands with a paper towel. Nope. She would unfold it, dry it out, hang it outside to dry up. Reuse
That's
paper
old.
towels.
That is a
Wow.
very
That's a lot.
durable piece of
That's
paper towel. Like,
That's a lot.
they were not buying that one ply.
Like so if you get so to some extent, like if I have like a gallon Ziploc bag, like at work, I'll rinse it out and like clean it and save it. But that's mainly because like I don't want to create more plastic. It's not because I'm trying to hoard it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we reuse those plastic bags at work for that sort of thing. It's not a hoarding thing for me. That's an ecological thing, right?
Sure.
I don't
I figure
actually.
it's because you're in a nonprofit and
You're saying you would
keep
have
an eye on
no
the bottom
mental.
line.
You would have
I
no
don't keep
wrong
it.
if you took it and threw it in the trash and walked away.
No.
It could be.
It's not
No,
for
I'll
it's
keep
not
it.
for me.
You could
It's
sleep well at night.
yeah.
Okay.
It's entirely for like I don't want to create more plastic.
These people
trash.
like can't sleep at night. Like
Yeah.
literal trash or literal rotted food with maggots crawling out. Like we got to throw this away. It's a health hazard.
No.
And they go, but
So we
they try to
so
justify
we have like
why.
so at work we have carbon zero soap obviously because we're a science center, and so like it literally doesn't cost any environmental damage to pour that soap into the bag. So like if you do like the whole like ecological math part of it, like washing the bag out is a carbon positive thing to do, you know. So like we there's not I'm not the only person who does this. Like everyone at work does this sort of thing where we reuse the things you can reuse, you know.
Yeah. I hope she doesn't get mad, but Ashley's father used to have all the the styrofoam containers that your Chinese food comes in.
That's
when
true.
it's
Yeah.
He would wash them out, clean them, and it was just stacks, hundreds. When we cleaned out his condo,
I keep some of the plastic ones.
Yeah,
because they're pretty good Tupperware, but
Yeah, occasionally I
I
would.
think you're a hoarder, Jake.
No,
Travis
I'm
has
just
more,
doing this.
Travis
I
has
do
more plastic Tupperware ones than I do.
I do. So that is actually like the one. If I were to have a hoarding mentality on it, it would be like takeout containers from the Asian food restaurants
That are like pretty
that are
very
durable.
reusable.
If they say like microwave safe on them, I'll be like,
Yeah.
shit. Well,
Yeah.
this is just Tupperware. I didn't need to
That
actually.
is the main thing I'll keep. And I don't keep
Now
any
outside
of
of that, I did just throw out a bunch of it today.
yeah, exactly right.
Mostly because
The ones that
they're just like
the
lid
lid's not
doesn't fit
fitting.
all the way.
Yeah, throw it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Like
don't.
if it loses its function,
I
I don't
just
keep
threw
it
away
to-
75% of my life, so I'm not attached to things.
I understand.
I-
I understand.
and personally, with the exception of that, I guess, and wine bottles, there's
That's a different.
That's
That's different. I swear.
It's an
Yeah.
altar.
I swear.
If they came in and be like, now explain this. What's this? What's going on over here?
yeah.
What's this?
We have a
Okay,
show.
do we need this?
It does not bring. It doesn't
if-
spark joy.
yeah. I do commonly kind of ask myself that with like, not to say that I really care about tidying up a Marie Kondo, but it is a good piece of like, why do you have these things?
Mhm.
And like when I moved into this house, I got rid of a fuck ton because I was like, I didn't even have a lot in my apartment in Norwich to begin with, but I still got rid of stuff.
Yeah, I had a lot of like T-shirts, like whatever.
Oh, I donate
And-
clothes
Yeah,
every like usually in July.
I started donating clothes because Ashley was like adamant about doing that. But she would ask me like, I haven't seen you wear this shirt in the 5 years that we've been dating.
Yep, get rid of it.
But it's like, oh, but it fits me and I like it, and
If you like it, why don't you wear it?
It never came up in the rotation.
So you have a rotation of clothing that you do need to keep.
right, and that's what the justification was, and ended up donating a lot. So someone out there has a bunch of Doctor Who shirts and Breaking Benjamin
And
t-shirts.
I'm sure it's a great 13-year-old is going to be real proud of
Yeah, I'm really happy about it.
But yeah, so clothes, I'm not tied to it. I don't even really care about like photos or like, when my mom passed away, my brothers and I had to go through like
Okay.
bins and bins of like
I
photo
think I
albums and
think
things
I
like
would
that.
care about photos. I think I would.
I can tell you right now that
very attached to my family.
the bin,
Whatever.
there's a bin in my basement that says Travis Memories, and for my memory, I can't tell you what's in it. Because again, it was something. I'm sure there's baby photos in there. There's photos of my mom too.
here's
But
the
it's
thing.
like I don't.
In my mind, whatever photos you care about,
You'll have out.
that also the next generation of like when you have kids, if you have kids, they're not going to care about those photos. Like the photos lose their value as time goes on, right?
Maybe I don't know about that because I
I
still
don't
love
have
my.
childhood photos because all of mine are on Facebook.
Well, then
basically.
fucking scan. Well, that's the thing. Digitize them. Get rid of them.
I understand, I guess,
Yeah.
but like I'm just like it's
I
something.
am a very analog.
It's like
person
saying like, oh,
sometimes.
burn your books, but you got all
And
digital.
books is the piece that I
Books,
drop.
I feel different about books for some reason.
Yeah, books and movies actually.
But there's something
I
about
enjoy
an
the
old-fashioned
analog.
picture
It
of
depends,
my.
depends on the movie.
Something about an old-fashioned picture of my
Because your
mom
DVD
and dad when
Your
they were
DVDs aren't
young.
analog though. Your DVDs are analog, but it's still a digital file.
Sure. I mean, would you prefer the VHS tapes? I think
Yes.
I have Hook and
That-
Jumanji
See, there's actually a reason to have Hook on VHS, for real.
because it's a phenomenal movie.
It's also actually a different experience. There is literally no difference between watching it on DVD and watching the YouTube file or whatever. Like, it's still a digital file. That's the technologist in me. Like, there's no difference. Just throw the DVD away.
I mean, yeah, if you just had an insane amount of storage space, you have like just hard drives of like shit like that. Sure, yeah.
Well, hold on. Storage space is fucking infinitely cheap now. What do you mean?
Yeah, but like I still don't have external hard drives.
Okay.
I don't even have a flash drive.
I have one flash drive. It's upstairs, and the only thing on it is
Porn.
Akira. No, so I guess kind of.
I mean, I probably upstairs right now, which I don't have 90% of my tech hardware here. Probably upstairs right now in my room right now, I have
Haven't had
more
one.
storage than everyone else here combined. At that.
Probably.
1 terabyte.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know. My phone's got like I don't know 500 gigs. Like
No way.
I don't know.
528.
I'm definitely
Maybe, I thought
getting.
it was 5.
Also, I'm definitely getting a new phone when we go on our vacation.
Isn't
Mine-
it all cracked? and shit?
It certainly is.
So why didn't you get rid of it originally? Why did you hold on to
No
it?
time, lazy. You gotta do
So
research. Which one should I get?
So like I guess when it comes to kind of pivoting your
I'm-
question,
I'm a-
should I hold them?
And should I keep this one because I'm a hoarder?
So pivoting from that,
No.
rather than being just a hoarder in the point of like there are dead cats in my basement that I may or may not have poisoned with all of my newspapers, it's more of a question on do you keep things that have outlived their value?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mine's digital files. That's where my hoarding problem is. I'm constantly going back to my digital files and like reorganizing and recycling and shit.
But the thing is,
I will not. I don't want to.
these
delete those.
items don't take up space in your home and feel cluttered.
No,
and-
exactly.
and
But that's the thing. Is
make you
it's
embarrassed
still-
to have someone over your home.
No,
'Cause
I'm
a lot of hoarders like I don't have anyone come over.
I'm a-
I haven't had anyone over my house in 20 years.
I'm
Like,
a
what?
pretty clean person. Like because I grew up in a house that was kind of messy. I fucking cannot stand mess. You know. I like abhor a mess.
I have a friend who's that way. His mother. I went to his house once, but his mother is one of those. You walked into their house and floor to ceiling, just junk.
Yeah.
There was a tiny path like through
Yeah.
the kitchen. You can barely get the
Did
fridge
we have
open.
the same friend growing up?
We all have that. We all have that friend. We all do.
I'll have that.
But-
Part, yeah.
I'm
And also
actually
not-
I'm actually not going to name names.
barely
That's
and like,
walk through
and
the
like,
house.
and like
There's
13,
only-
13 cats.
This one I'm thinking of directly immediately, and I'm sure you're thinking of the same
There's
person.
one I'm thinking of, but it wasn't particularly him. It was his parents.
Yeah,
specifically
we're
his
thinking of
mother.
the same people. Yeah.
Yeah, and that continued up until like, for lack of better words, something happened in their house which required them to move,
Mhm.
and then now it doesn't seem to be so much of the same problem, but it's
So I
still
have a-
kind of like their garage.
Act of God.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question because there was a scene in one of the new episodes. Hello. There's a scene in one of the new episodes that kind of made me have to clash with my libertarian thinking. And
Oof.
one of them was this woman had massive property, like just big, and on the property were lots of cars, lots of some trailers, some trailers,
Lawn ornaments.
things like in the backyard, huge, just cars, tractors, whatever.
Infinium, yeah.
And the town or the state, whoever it was, came in and said, this stuff has to go or you're getting hit with $30,000 fines. And then eventually we're going to just come in and clean. We're going to take everything out ourselves.
Right.
Blighted property is the
You know, and I had to think like, okay,
Bolton is very strict
it's their
about that.
property.
Willimantic.
Morally,
Yeah, well, that's
my
right.
ideology says you should be able to do something on your property if it harms none. It's very, very Wiccan, harm none, do what ye will
Right.
kind of thinking.
But
But I understand the neighbors. It might be aggressing upon them in terms of their property value. It's
Yeah.
actually taking money away from them.
it does spill over from your property to their property. essentially.
Sometimes, not this one, maybe not.
I don't
But
mean physically, but I mean fiscally.
fiscally, it is. That's correct.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's why I'm saying maybe if you rein it in, I think you should be able to have whatever you want on your property if it's under control. But if it's fiscally impacting your
So you're
neighbors.
saying your libertarianism is facing a different, like there's different layers of libertarianism clashing right now.
Yeah, because
Because like
non-aggression principle,
it's
it's
kind of an aggression. Yeah, I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
I would be like you're aggressing upon my wallet right now because I can't resell my house for 15, 20,000 more because of your garbage next door.
I think
so
That's
so
a real thing, and so it's like I hate to make it about money, but Fuck.
Willimantic, actually, there was a time when I was moving out of one house and like a couch had broken, so we put the couch on the street and we're like, oh, it's free. Within a day, we got a notice from the town saying, you have a week to clear this before we fine you $100 a day. So
It's an urban setting though. It's a little bit different.
it's also in,
This was
at
very-
the time, it
this
was
was
in a
very
very
rural.
Victorian, like more of the Victorian Hill area, where they were like, we do walking tours to look at these old houses.
Yeah.
And they don't wanna see.
Yeah.
So like, I get it, but in the same token, it's like,
So you-
it's a couch.
there's a property up past Walmart. Take that road to the right.
In which direction?
So you go past Walmart, Home Depot.
Mhm.
You take it right.
Yep.
That major road that leads into
It's Broadway.
was it?
I think it's Broadway. It's right at the major intersection that cuts
Yeah, the
across.
big intersection. There's that property is full of these tractors and shit, trucks, fucking Corvette,
Mhm.
whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about with the
Yeah.
big Confederate flag? Yeah, that's a word.
Oh, you're
So-
talking about on Tucky. Right?
Is it Tucky? No,
it's
not
not.
Tucky.
It's not Tucky. It's the opposite direction.
Yeah,
Oh, because Tucky is the same thing basically.
similar. Yeah.
Guy, he's got just tractors galore.
Might have been
Confederate-
Tucky, actually.
Confederate flag. Like,
Yeah,
it is
So,
Tucky.
so
Yeah.
there
I think
is
it is
one.
Tucky.
What's the not 14, but there's a road that like goes up.
Tucky goes to 14 from here.
But the opposite way, like the way that I think you are heading down Route 6 towards Providence, there is a
No, it's
fire station on the left, and then it's that right. It's like
Yeah.
a sharp button hook right. It's near
Might
the
be-
school.
and on your immediate left is Beaver Hill Road.
Oh, 203?
Yes, actually.
203.
Whatever that's
203.
203. 203 is what I'm
203.
Yeah.
Where there's a school on that road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sorry. I think I went 14.
That whole thing is going to
to
lead to the center of Wyndham.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that area.
But
quite well.
yeah, so outside of that, and outside of the Libertarian Confederate member,
How? Okay,
like,
first
I
of
think
all,
when it just sort of
like
like
putting them in together.
they don't want these big Yankees treading on them.
Yes, all these damn Northerners.
Yeah, I believe
War-
you mean
I
the
would-
War of Northern
The
Aggression.
War of North Wyndham aggression.
I would say it's libertarian in idea. It's libertarian ideology to allow him to fly whatever flag he fucking wants on his property, but it doesn't mean
Well-
that he's a libertarian.
Well, do you think he could fly a Nazi flag?
100%.
I-
100%. You have that freedom and right on your property. You have a right to burn an American flag.
I
on your
agree with that.
Yeah, you have a right to fly anything
Burning
you
American
want.
flag it's not the same level of hate speech as like literally. Like,
Well, you
So
now,
it is
now we're
hate
going down
speech.
to the level of
But,
I'm against. I don't. It's hate speech is irrelevant.
a symbol of genocide is very different.
So
No,
the Supreme
it's-
Court's already maintained what does and does not exist under the guise of free speech. Already established.
I get that, but we are still up. We're doing a theoretical debate on speech. I would say all speech is permissible. That's my stance.
So is all art permissible?
All art is permissible. I've just on a broad brushstroke. Unless you're gonna like,
I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
kitty. I'm going kitty porn.
you got. Okay. Are you saying as art?
Yes.
She laughed. She audibly laughed,
Yeah.
saying that it's art.
So that is sort of
In
the
what-
piece on it. Lolita.
the
The
book.
movie?
The book.
Either
The movie
the-
is not kitty porn though.
No.
No,
but
the book is
the
not.
acceptance,
Oh, so we're
sexual
trying-
attraction
we're trying
to minors on it,
okay.
glorifying these items.
Kitty
I guess my
porn as-
then kitty porn's the extreme. I'm using an extreme position to demonstrate that a broad brushstroke will not work.
Right.
And like when it comes, do I think there's artistic value in kitty porn? No.
No,
Do I think that there's
absolutely not.
artistic value in snuff films?
maybe.
Maybe.
Depends-
Yeah, maybe.
depends
Yeah,
on
there's
the
an
license.
argument to be made there.
Is there?
It's
Should
da-
snuff
it's
films
dark.
be-
It's dark and
It's not-
disturbed, but
No, no,
there's
no.
could be art.
Is there a historical importance? I think it's a big part of it. So like, you could argue that like the full video of Tiananmen Square is a snuff film if you really wanted to.
It's true. That tank did not stop.
You know,
Tank
I mean,
doesn't
there's,
stop.
there's an
Well,
argument.
it stops and then it's instructed.
It
We'll
starts-
kill your
well, it
family
stops-
if you don't.
It starts again.
In the Mandela effect, it kept going and crushed that guy. There's people in that universe. Universe
you know,
B.
an art form should be somebody being harmed. That's the way it should be. So-
Unless it's consensual and the person's like choosing to do self-conflagellation as an art
Sure.
piece
So
for some
like
reason.
the extreme pain Olympics, like
Sure.
extreme body.
I'm not even totally on board with that.
What about the monk that set himself on fire in form of protest?
Sure, exactly. That's the thing. Is like that's where
That's
you,
not
that's
art, that's
But taking a photograph of that, there's a famous
The
photograph of
photograph
that. That
of
photograph
yes.
is very artistic.
but that's not inflicted upon, I guess. So
It's self-inflicted. That's what I'm saying. Like,
self-inflicted.
But it's a depiction of murder.
is really itchy. I guess.
Yes, audience.
That's just an interesting question. And where in that situation is the art? In the act or in the person capturing the act?
It's such
It
a,
can-
it's
I mean, that's
Art is in the eye of the beholder, right? So
I mean, isn't that kind of the question of how does performance art actually exist? Is it in that moment in which it is actually done,
but
or
also,
is it in recasting things? Do those lose artistic value over time because they were not in the moment?
but to double down on that too, also if you think about an art form like photography, photography is an art form of capturing something that exists or is happening, right? The art form is in the framing.
Yeah, so photography
So that's
But
specific-
not
photography
the
is
eye of the
different.
person who took it.
Well, yeah,
Because
you mean
that's
duck
the-
face selfies aren't an art form?
First off, they are.
Unfortunately, it is.
But when it comes to photography
Are
or other,
NFTs art?
No.
I'm with
therein
you. I'm
lies
with
the
you.
question.
I'm going flat now.
I'm like,
Why not?
I mean, the person that makes the design is making an art.
Yes,
artistic
but
design.
but the vast majority of NFTs are pre-existing designs.
I
essentially.
concur. Sure.
Also, NFTs are just horrible for the environment, so I don't even fucking talk about NFTs. NFTs are fucking complete ridiculousness.
So,
The
bring-
value here, I don't want to get too derailed, but the value in cryptos, and especially NFTs, is in like showing the ludicrousness of our fucking economy.
That's true. Also, congratulations to everyone that held onto AMC. It was
Me!
$70 last night when it closed. $70 fucking dollars.
I bought that shit $9. I'm so
Yeah,
happy
it was
about
around 7 to 9, 11. That's when you should have got in. So that's my other question. Are meme stocks, are they the real deal? Or are they just pumped up Ponzi
Pumped
schemes?
Well, hang on.
Pumped up Ponzi schemes?
First off,
Yes.
almost all non-tethered stocks, currencies, NFTs, anything to it.
But
They're
people would
all
say the
pumped and
dollar isn't tethered to anything if you just have money machine go burr.
And
Like-
the dollar itself
Is a
will
joke.
constantly say
It's not top
It's not
tethered
Yeah,
to anything.
that's what I'm
So-
saying, is that it also follows the
that-
same. The only
that-
difference
It
is
should
that
be
you have
tethered to
more people.
silver.
You have more people
Gold.
agreeing to its value. That's the only difference between it. And that's why when you look at sort of meme stocks and cryptocurrencies themselves,
And
you have
NFTs too.
Yeah, you have something that is inviting disruption to what this sort of standard is. And I can tell you right now, we will move into a more decentralized, non-fiat setup for it.
Decentralized.
Solely
But I think about
when enough people get behind it to say, you know what?
I think we're going that direction.
I think in time
money
now-
doesn't make fucking sense. Is what it, basically I think all this says.
Yeah,
Which I
money's
think-
not making sense outside of the barter system.
Of course, yeah. But to me, in my head, I think the value of these things, even though they fucking burn electricity and are bad for the environment, I think the value in these things is that they're going to just showcase the ludicrousness of our economy, essentially.
Do you think that in turn will then tank the economy?
I don't think it'll tank it. I just think it'll push us more to a more socialist economy, more globalized and more socialist.
There was actually, speaking of that, there was a quote from Elon Musk's business partner today. Did you see it?
Mhm.
He said, AI, he's like very not into AI. And Elon Musk is all about it. He said AI is the fastest route to communism.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Andrew Yang also said the same, that AI is
Larry
and
Page-
automation is the
Larry
fastest
Page is-
route to UBI.
Larry Page is on that train too, but like in support of though.
He was like,
No.
I'm afraid of that.
Afraid
In-
of socialism?
In his statement. No, it's like it could be it could turn real dangerous real quick if it's not.
So that's
It's
honestly-
never not been dangerous, so I don't understand.
Yeah, the entire concept behind it though is when you look at process automation, certain things are fine to automate.
Like hoarding.
That's
Like assessing the value
what we do.
of
We pick a topic and we say, "Fuck that topic."
Cryptocurrencies.
but when it comes to hoarding, I guess, those same people are the ones saying, this is going to have value. This rusted John Deere tractor from 1930 that has been in my lawn will have value at some point, despite the fact that you can clearly see it doesn't. Cryptos operate in a similar capacity in which they don't have any intrinsic value outside of what people agree to.
Mhm.
So
Bitcoin
I
is
do-
the John Deere of cryptos.
weirdly accurate. Ripple is too, I guess. But going back to my initial question on it, which was rather than hoarding, the newspapers, the dead cats, the rotting food, keeping items that have eclipsed their usefulness.
So let's say computers from 1992.
Yes.
Junk them. Like, junk it.
But do you own anything that is outlived its
Unless it's
time?
an Apple computer.
Do you have?
Damn it in time.
Do you have,
Yeah, like that's
do you,
kind of my
do you have an NES?
Yeah, do you have any vintage systems?
Those are computers from before.
But it's
Almost
so
all of them
good.
are used. I mean, but that's the thing. They still get used. But like, I can tell you right now, I don't own a Game Boy. I've got ROMs and emulators out my ass
On your phone.
because
you can
so
have
because you could have a multi-purpose thing
you
too.
could have every game
unless you
DS
have
and
an
before
iPhone.
on your phone for free, like illegally sort of. But
I can't have an Apple phone.
if you
That's right.
They banned
Is there any
those.
point? Okay, perfect question. Is there any point to keep an atlas in your car?
Atlas?
You mean a map
Not-
specifically?
Yeah,
like,
like,
a
of,
hard
the,
map.
of the countries. To, if you're
Maybe not
driving
in your
across
car.
country and you,
Yes.
So I actually I get
You
I
believe
get
it?
the point behind
because they're
Phones can
It's a
die.
failsafe.
How-
It's a
how-
failsafe.
how recent is the atlas? Do you update it annually, or is it one from like the 50s?
I mean,
I would old
I would say
1982 atlas.
Get rid of
I
it.
would say roadmap is more important than an atlas.
I think that's what Tanner's
Yeah.
going for. Is like here is a
That's what I
can
meant.
get you anywhere.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Major highways, that sort of thing.
Even that, I would say, if it's not within 3 years, get a new one.
Sure.
Yellow pages.
No.
No.
Get rid of them. I'm just trying to find
No,
my
I don't. I
things
don't
that
think.
are.
I don't. Hey, most people don't have a landline
They-
anymore.
A lot of people don't print them anymore. A lot of
And most
channels don't
don't.
print them now.
Yeah.
They're pretty much defunct.
Which is great for
But here's a
So
weird
most of
thing.
them are recycled.
Part of me like
Really?
wants a little bit of that conservative traditionalism to come back, and I think it'd be no. Like in terms of neat little amenities, I think it'd be cool to have a guy drop a little rack of milk on my fucking doorstep in the morning.
Do you know it's
Like,
cool? You can
with the-
actually.
with
There
the-
are places
with the
that-
milk
you
jug
can-
bottle. I think that's
you can do that still.
right. It's not. Let's just say it's not a common practice. It's
No,
not.
because supermarkets,
I understand.
disruptive technology ousted that.
Right, but that's an outdated form of
That's what you're
delivery. It's an
Is it?
outdated form of You have Domino's doing self-driving trucks with no drivers that cooks the pizza on the way home onto your house and then it spits it out fresh hot that second.
That's terrifying.
It's great. Domino's new
I'm
self-driving
fine
cars
with that.
is awesome.
I also
There's
I
an oven that
genuinely
drives it to your
You know why I'm fine with that?
self-drives.
because
You know what?
autonomous vehicles is the way that we're going to go, and it's going to go with commercial fleets.
It's also ecologically way more sound.
Yeah, we were talking about that. I think
A car going back to the pizza shop for every fucking pizza, whatever, is ridiculous.
No, it
And that's what I'm saying.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you're describing is more ecologically friendly. So it's like anything that does that, let's just fucking do it.
I mean, that ultimately invites the
Also-
question of: Are we moving past the end, or are we going towards the end of all brick and mortar shops?
And the service industry in general, yes, we absolutely are. I've
My
been saying-
shop, no.
I've been saying this show. No, you won't, because you have in-person services that are different.
I'll
Honestly.
always exist.
What?
No, always exist.
You'll always
No, you won't. Starship Troopers.
Fuck Starship Troopers.
AI.
You're laser bullshit.
I personally think I would always prefer
So-
an artist to do me. Because specifically because of the this is not just printed from a screen. This is someone's personal flavor of what
Not
So what you don't want is an NFT tattoo.
I don't want.
Not
Which is-
exactly.
Can we also? I said earlier today. Antonio gave me a new tattoo today.
It was
Or
Today.
Saturday, sorry. This is Daft Punk. Did a good job. It looks like shit on this camera, but looks better on this camera probably. Oh yeah, looks way better.
We don't
on
have a
this
face anymore. We're just two heads of.
camera. This episode is sponsored by.
But no, almost all jobs are either at immediate risk of being removed due to automation,
No.
or is at pending
Yeah.
risk.
I would
The
say so. Not all jobs, definitely not. It's more around half jobs.
It's the
The next
initial estimates
the
from
next 10 years is like 50 to 60%.
so the non-crazy McAfee
You think
Yeah.
50 to 60?
came out and said that it was about 70% of jobs in the next 30 years.
Whoa, hold on. Let's back the sentence up you just said.
The non-crazy McAfee.
Yeah, that's the issue I'm having a problem with.
It's a great
You mean
line.
The libertarian McAfee.
The one who's living in Costa Rica because
Okay, first of all, that dude is the fucking man.
the dude is nuts.
The dude is awesome.
He's super
I am
he's-
pro-
He's fucking crazy.
definitely
I am
crazy.
pro John McAfee. Is it John McAfee?
Yeah.
John McAfee. I am
He's
I
pro-
definitely
think
yes.
this is
I like
Davis
him.
Scott.
He's
There's
also
a-
crazy though.
He has
I think there's
awesome-
a book over there, Machine Platform Crowd, which is by a different McAfee.
Okay.
That's the one I'm talking about.
okay. Well, we should be talking about the other one because he is
But like
awesome.
Dude's fucking nuts.
all these so there's been a big push in America to skilled labor. And I use it in parentheses in quotations because it's all these blue collar jobs. They're going to manufacturing. Those jobs are all at risk for being replaced. All of them.
The only ones which
Welders,
I would say
installers, riggers, the whole thing. they're all at risk to be replaced by
Yeah,
automation.
we have fully autonomous like car manufacturers now, and if we're doing that, we're a few years away.
Jet engines and subs and shit. Yeah, yeah.
Question to tie in the topic: would UBI create more hoarders?
No.
In terms of giving someone steady income to buy things.
I think no, but I think that is an interesting question to think about.
Yeah,
For sure.
I do. In thinking about it briefly, we'll still have the same response as my snap response to it.
Hoarding is a mental disorder.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't, essentially.
Yeah. And I think just because you have disposable income, it doesn't automatically mean that you are going to just buy useless shit.
We most of us here have some level of disposable income, and we live relatively non-hoardery.
I don't know. I do buy weird art sometimes.
But you know what? It's on
Like
a
the
wall.
first printing a blown up canvas of the first.
If you had 20
viewing
of these,
Green
if you had
Goblin.
20 of these stacked in the corner over there, I would feel differently about it. You know, but it's
Sure.
on a wall. It's different.
It's being utilized to be appreciated.
And the way it's supposed to be.
If it's covered up by a bunch of shit, why is
That's
it even-
hoarding.
yeah.
Exactly. We all understand hoarding.
Those hoarders want my own artwork, papers and papers and papers.
That's
It's just
that-
stuff.
But that's also kind of different.
Yeah,
when
but
you
like
die,
Jerry
all of your
Seinfeld-
art gets super famous, and like people spend a lot of money on it.
I hope
Whoever
so,
gets
'cause I
that
don't give a
artwork.
shit.
I was watching Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, Jerry Seinfeld's show, where he interviews comedians.
Highly
And-
recommend.
I highly recommend it. But there's an episode where he talks about how he has on the yellow line paper and notepads
Every joke.
all from the 80s or ever. He keeps them
Mhm.
and he goes back over to refresh material.
To me, that's not
review
hoarding.
material.
No,
That's not hoarding.
whoa.
But it's like they laid it all out and it covered I think a street like in the special. It was like a huge street.
But to me,
just
that's
laid
not
out.
hoarding because that there is a utility to that. You know, like, yeah, he can digitize it, whatever.
That's my point, though. He should digitize
He
it.
should digitize it. But like, especially
He should pay someone.
especially
But
with
he
some-
might find
but-
something
but
sentimental behind it.
even
It's like I wrote this when I was 80.
It
I
is
was a
sentimental.
broke
No,
comic
you're-
trying to make it work.
No, you're correct.
Which
It's
comes
very
to
sentimental. It's something
a
about-
You also can see
motivation.
the evolution of your old artwork to
but also
now.
every one of those pieces of paper has value. Every
because
last
of
piece of
who
those
he
paper,
is.
someone would buy that.
Yes.
Yeah, because of who he is.
So
Which actually, I do want to circle in because studio audience gave a list of rationality or not like rationale motivations for why someone is a hoarder, and the number one pick on it is sentimentality.
Yeah.
And so that while there is no intrinsic value to the objects that they are hoarding, they believe that there is.
Yeah.
But
Much
I've
like
seen-
cryptids.
And I've seen episodes. I've watched episodes
Like
where
the
they're
US
like
dollar.
it's like
Cryptids,
it's an old man or old woman and they have no children or grandchildren, but they have a kid's backpack and a kid's
Yeah.
toy. It's like, why do you have this? What is its purpose? What are you gonna do with it? And they just don't seem to have an answer. I saw it came with a bunch of other stuff, and I was going to sell it. All. Like
It's not some. It's
it's
their
not
kids. It's
sentimental,
not their kids.
but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Brings
It's-
number
it's-
3.
It's that Methodist utility that it has. Like
Right.
it's something that could be useful still, so don't throw it away.
So that kind of also brings into
it's so prison
Emergency use
mentally
and
imprisoning
thrift.
you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like bomb shelter people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or doomsday preppers and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, I would arguably say though, doomsday preppers at least have a purpose for it, like a more. They're also crazy,
A
and
deranged
there's generally
purpose,
a degree of mental illness there too.
I
In the
definitely
instance of
could be
emergency.
predisposed to be that. I definitely would.
I
It wouldn't.
can-
It wouldn't.
I don't.
It wouldn't
I am not.
shock me
If you
because I'm already that
tomorrow-
way when it comes to my.
If tomorrow you're
investment.
digging a hole in the back of your.
I already don't trust the governments and stuff. I think I could be that. I'm already that way with money and my investments and fucking like fuck money, gold,
you're
silver,
hoarding
like-
silver. Is that?
like it's like that shit. I could see myself being 50 years old and needing a project. Building-
This is my woodshed. It's also
you
a
can have a
bomb
doomsday
shelter.
shelter that just doubles as a sweet man cave, and it's not a doomsday
So
shelter.
that again, multi-purpose. That I would agree with. If you've got
the
60
underground
years
bunkers with the big
of
wheel that spins and you lift it up like fall
Yeah,
out
if-
and you
if
jump.
you've ever
Feet of
seen
lead
Yeah.
encasing it.
if you've ever seen the opening of The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, that's kind of
Oh,
what
it's
I'm
so
thinking.
good, dude.
Just an
Isn't
underground
that
bunker.
Paul Rudd? Isn't it Paul Rudd?
No, it's John Hamm is the
Oh, it's John Hamm even better.
yeah, John Hamm is the cult
John
leader.
Hamm, that's right.
But yeah, like when people keep like an old couple that has a child's backpack, they're like, well, I may need a backpack at some point, so like.
Yeah, but Dora the Explorer, come on.
But that's the thing is like they
Maybe
don't
I'll
see
have
that
a
value
kid.
because they are constantly
We haven't had any tinfoil hat moments.
outside of your
Doomsday theory.
your doomsday prepping. But even that still has utility because as Sal brought up, it could in fact be
I thought
Like, a
of
dope man
a
cave, you could
use.
have a
Let's not put this on. What about for like archaeological purposes for aliens?
What?
Actually, weird question with time capsules.
Wait, hold on. What? With the what? Oh, you mean
When
Hoarding
when
for-
we
hoarding
all
for
die
aliens.
and aliens come in, if that's your reason for doing it.
Hashtag hoarding for aliens.
Is that a thing?
no?
No, that's his tinfoil hat.
No, your elf fell off.
I lost my own.
I mean, it could be a thing.
It could in fact be one. But when it comes down to it, I don't
want to
think
be. What was it Tim Robbins in World of Worlds with Tom Cruise? The crazy guy with the gun that takes them in, him and the girl, and he's literally insane. I think it's Tim Robbins.
Tim
Robbins is like the motivational
Tim
speaker.
Robbins is the motivational speaker. Yeah.
No, not Tim Robbins. Who am I thinking of? Who's Mary Susan Sarandon?
Trivia team.
No, Tony Robbins. That's the motivational. Tim
Tim
Robbins.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Tim Robbins is the actor.
Tony Robbins is the
Motivational speaker. It's Tim Robbins.
Well, you know. So
I'm not crazy. Where's my fuck your tinfoil hats? I'm not crazy.
So one Tim Robbins.
That's him. He's just like, I knew the aliens were coming. I prepped. He has like guns and shotguns. He's like, they can't reach us under here. I put.
You know what's a better example of that is Cloverfield.
Cloverfield's another. John Goodman was
Yeah.
for it.
Oh right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one Cloverfield Lane. That's
Yeah,
different.
well, Cloverfield, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the original that's the found footage.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the Blair Witch style.
All right, so
Okay,
we
you have a list.
have, we have
Keep
some more. Thriftiness, which I think kind of speaks to the
My dad.
older
my dad.
companies.
They love them.
Yeah.
They love the thrift shops in those episodes. Everyone's just like, I like going to the thrift store and finding deals.
and seeing stuff. That said, there is one thing that I do love,
Also, Tony was trying
Really
to get us to go to the fucking flea market, so.
which I'm fine with.
I like flea
because
markets.
Yeah,
That I'm not going because I want to go and acquire like
everything.
someone's trailer or what's the people who like buy storage lockers that have defaulted.
The state.
Did you see that? I don't know if you remember our.
I think so.
Storage
but-
word.
I don't know if you remember our kitchen, but above the sink there was that wine rack. It's
Yeah,
basically
it was a crate.
it's a piece of a pallet crate, but someone repurposed it to fit wines, and it was cool. So at a flea
This-
market,
This bar is pallet wood and reclaimed wood.
it was just you can find some cool
There's
artistic
definitely
gems.
going to be a surplus of flea market stuff
But the main thing.
Come,
based off last year.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty decent.
So, which actually, I'm going to skip neglect on here and go to fashion. That people amass these hoards, like such as you bought a wine rack that was very much a piece of like you thought this was cool. This you like it, you're going to keep it. Honestly, when I was asking the initial question about keeping something that exceeds its use, I've had this bar for 6 years. My brother Alex and I built
used
it.
it a lot, though.
I have used it a lot, but it's all like the pallet wood is older. The
so
reclaimed
like
wood
a
is even
perfect
older than
example
that.
of something that's fashion, vintage, kind of still has a purpose, but not quite really. But people will still buy or a flea market lava lamps. Like they're
It's such a mentality.
there's
I don't
that's
know.
there's
Love lamps are garbage. So.
I understand. I agree. But there's a fashion that people like it aesthetically, and that falls in that category.
Also, a big thing we were thinking of is the idea of trends. Like, I hold on to a lot of clothes that are good for, like, oh, there's an 80s night, I'm prepared. Oh, there's a X night, I have this outfit. Like, and my mom's the same way. I'm not even allowed to donate clothes unless she goes through it.
Even though
because-
you know you're only going to wear those once every 3 years when it's
Yeah.
like an event that goes on.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
just
willing
sit
to
in my
take up
closet for
space in your
years.
closet. But is that utilizing the space efficiently? Is it I mean like
It's
Does
when
it
I was
spark
in college and it was frats had different themed nights every week. Like, it was a important thing to always be prepared, and that was the idea was, oh, I have this outfit in case I ever need it for this occasion.
that can spiral out of control real quick if you continue.
Yeah, no, that's bad mentality, but that's also like a huge thing is people are like, oh, I'm gonna keep all my scrunchies in case scrunchies make a comeback, and they did, and like leg warmers and stuff.
That's a good point.
But then you're not contributing to the economy.
Yeah, you're just reusing existing things. You have to keep the free market going. Ironically that you bring that up,
Like hoping
I
things
do-
will have eventual use, and like those are just examples that did maybe eventually have eventual use, and still a bet at the time whether or not it will.
I
So what
will
do we-
say right now there's one thing in this room that I should probably get rid of because I've used it once and never again. And it's actually behind the cell. There is a plague doctor mask and I think a trilby or a fedora. The fedora is not even mine. Someone left it here.
So what you're saying is you're not going to sit in the Blue Lagoon in Iceland with that mask on?
You can bet your ass I'm going to bring that to Iceland. I'm going to jump. I'm going to chase waterfalls wearing
How
that
much
mask.
patchouli is going to be in the nose of those?
So I actually had lavender and like it was like spritz there.
So before
so I was
we-
pretty high most of the time.
Before we cut to the second part of the show, what do you have any ideas what we want to bullshit about?
Oh, so when we come back, we're going to do Ask a Straight White Male.
Excellent. All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
I dig it. All right, ask a straight white male. We'll find some. Let's think of some gem questions that only we would be experts on.
Exactly.
All right,
Women's rights.
let's talk. All right, let's find some good ones, and we'll come back.
Cool.
We'll make this comedic.
Take a break. We'll have some more lighthearted, hopefully, elements, but
Yeah, hoarding is sad. but
Yes.
Also,
And if you have anyone that is hoarding, don't really
Yeah.
be aggressive towards them. Try and talk to them, make them see what you see or the rest of the world sees. Talk to a therapist, get them. That's the big thing. Is
it is a
therapy.
mental illness.
You
is-
need-
is
yeah.
the point, right?
They need therapy, and therapists are our friends. And
I
So-
mean, you guys all know my vibe is that everyone should have a therapist. So
yeah, I think that's.
along with UBI, you also will be getting one therapist.
Yeah, I'm actually like weirdly okay with that.
if we,
God,
if we treated therapy like
I'm not
GP
subsidizing the shit. I'm the
You should, I would totally subsidize therapy.
therapy for all,
Yeah.
that's my campaign.
I would wrap it into the Medicare general.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
better
no,
abbreviation for
that's
the.
I would not support like cosmetic surgery.
No. But like we, you know, how we expect everyone should have a general practitioner or GP. I think everyone should also have a therapist too. They should
For
be,
the mental health,
yeah.
one does the physical, one does the brain.
I believe.
What about the soul?
You can't have a good physical
That's called
health.
church.
It's called the drug dealer.
A lot of people who have really shitty physical health is because their mental health is wrong.
Commonly.
So it's like one begets the other. Anyways,
That.
see you guys in a few
we'll be back in a
minutes.
few minutes.
We're back.
And
got-
that's the Swamp Donkey.
We got Tisdale pouring objectively better wine, unfortunately.
Yeah, we opened up the show. Great American Wine Company did not receive good reviews. The cheese received great
Tisdale,
reviews.
the $3 wine.
That is
Pretty
the Great
good.
American
Pretty fucking
That is the Great Depression Wine Company.
Great Depression Wine Company.
In keeping theme with our.
It does feel like it's
Quarters.
made in a bathtub.
There you go.
I've had like homebrew and bathtub stuff.
And you can make sangria and
I
turtle.
mean, we obviously have done that. Bringing this back, we're going to talk this second half about. We decided not to talk about white privilege and that sort of thing that we always talk about. Instead, we're going to talk a little bit about like impactful art.
Finish that swill.
Is that still the other? Oh, this is way better, isn't it?
It's juicier.
I'm going to
It
cleanse
actually
my.
really is a better
I'm
wine.
going to cleanse my
That's
palate with
sad.
this sour.
That is
Oh my
not
God.
the way to do it.
It really is a better wine. That's pretty sad. Anywho, and
It's juicier. Like this,
And
this
so
tastes more like fruit. The other tasted like battery acid.
so I come from a film background, which people may or may not know who are watching this. And
Boo! Argument of authority from authority.
no, I'm not. I'm the inverse. The inverse. I'm talking about.
Disqualified.
I'm talking about how much I was impacted by something. I'm not talking about my authority on something. At all.
So much better. So much better.
I recently, I used
Terrifying.
to write a lot of reviews and like content on film and media, and I haven't done it in a long time. I wrote the first thing I've written in a long time about this thing, and it's Bo Burnham's Inside, a comedy special he made recently for Netflix.
Closed.
We should be on.
No, the title card just went back.
You what? No, that should not be the case. I see us as being live.
Right now,
It's now
it's
on-
the logo.
The title card just went back.
You what? No, that should not be the case.
Maybe.
You're behind on the stream, I think.
Maybe.
Anywho, that was me unmuting the stream.
Sorry about that.
Moving forward, I as someone who has like come from a place where I tried to be a video creator for a long time.
And now look at you.
I mean, we're doing something relatively creative.
I'm busting your chops.
There's a I'm just going to summarize what I wrote about this. It's like there's a level of creativity in modern that's like really tough to get past because we're on the internet. We have this sort of glut of media that feels impenetrable, right? And that coupled with just like general millennial apathy, like it's hard to feel like your creativity matters.
Millennial nihilism.
Absolutely. I've said I've been an nihilist on this many times, and I do mean that. There was something about watching this special that, even though it is a sad and existential special, made me feel hopeful. And it's because I got into this diatribe in my post about it, about how originality can exist in a modern realm of having all these influences and all this backdrop of art that you think you can't be original anymore. This piece just reawakened me to the idea that like there is the ability to be original. Like there is the ability to make something that is of this time and important to us. Maybe not important in 20 years, maybe not important in 50 years, or whatever the timeline is, but there is something about this piece. So Bo Burnham's Inside, he made a comedy special, but it's not really a comedy special. It's kind of a one-man show. Almost all the effects from the show happen. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but almost all the effects for the show happen like live controlled by like MIDI controllers and stuff. It's really fucking brilliant. I don't want to ruin it, but it was impactful for me. It meant a lot to me, and it spoke to like both COVID and quarantine and the social strife that we're going through right now, but also just like what it's like to be a millennial right now and want to be creative and want to be. We all have creative. All of us at least have creative passions. Like it's like to feel the like drive to push through that like that dread and that apathy.
I agree because we were talking about Bo Burnham's special before this one was Make Happy.
Which we've all seen. I'm the only one who's seen Inside, right?
Yeah, correct.
I again highly fucking recommend it.
So at the I don't. Do you remember the very last thing he says in the special? Make Happy.
Go on.
Do you guys remember? He goes. So at the very end, he does the whole Kanye bit thing, and then the lights come up when the show is done, and he goes. He bows. And he says, "Thank you very much. I hope I made you all happy." Like it almost seemed. It almost seemed like a cry of, "I did all this, and you all had a good time, but I didn't." It was a weird sentence that he says that it's like
But
I'm doing what I love and I'm making great money. I'm still not happy.
It's
It
the Robin
seemed-
Williams approach to
It seemed like that's how it was.
Do you
it
know?
came
Do
off.
you know what happened
'Cause-
after that special?
Do you know?
So he was coming off a series of nervous breakdowns. He quit comedy for 5 years after that special.
Okay.
This is his first thing since then.
Right, because he that sentence is like almost like a cry for help of like I hope I made you happy because I'm fucking not. It was this, it was a really passionate way to strong sentence to end on the special, and so that's why when I watched it, I was like, this could be arguably the best comedy special ever made in terms of artistic value.
Well, watch it side.
We gotta watch
Which
Inside.
it does kind of speak to that element of it being Bo Burnham has always been a performance artist first and foremost, I think, and every special he does, every bit is just compounding. And I mean, he got famous pretty early with just like singing silly songs and
The
like
college tours.
yeah,
and-
being like a little crass but still being like funny and good for it. But Make Happy really hits a note of like the saddest person at a circus is the clown, making everyone laugh. I mean, everyone's heard the joke of, Doctor, I'm so depressed. Like, oh, don't be sad, go see Pavarotti. Or Pavetti the clown, he's so funny. The guy breaks down, says, Doctor, I am Pavetti. But through it, with Bo Burnham, and again, not seeing Inside, I'm
I
gonna
guess
watch it.
I guess I gotta watch it. With the
I
next...
know you're afraid that I'm overhyping it. I know that I'm not.
But
Maybe there's a little bit of arrogance in my personal respect of my artistic taste, but seriously, I am not overhyping it. You will both love it. I know
Okay.
you will.
Because-
I've watched it 3 times.
Because here's where I'm having a little. I trust me. If it's anything like Make Happy and better, then I'm in for a great treat. However,
it's not in front of a live
you
audience,
all-
obviously.
this is a little bit of a flashback of a previous episode. I listened to 8 songs.
This has nothing to do with Tyler Creator. No.
Tyler the Creator is trash. It's like weird R&B.
The
poppy shit.
newest album is basically an R&B album, but everything before it is different. Every album is completely different.
I know. We listened to other albums. I did. I listened to multiple albums. I like songs on each album.
This is not on topic. This is off topic.
It's off topic. I'm sorry, but it's just.
But it does kind of pivot into a whole other piece, which we were kind of discussing during the break, that we're talking about things that really resonate with you and things that maybe missed with you. What it could be in your formative years now, recently, 10 years ago. What were some of the more influential pieces of art in your life that you sat down and you were like, fuck, that hits, and it hits a note that you're not super comfortable with. You're actually mostly out of screen
I know,
on
so I'm
that
trying to
shot.
fix it.
So
I'm looking at the wrong screen. There we go.
yeah,
So that's one of them.
tattoos are just C-3PO to begin with.
That's the other one. Star Wars, for sure. Super influential in my life from a young age.
So Star Wars collectively of all of these, or because I can tell you right now, I loved Phantom Menace when it came out. I don't like it now.
That's wrong. It's still pretty good.
Fuck Ryan Johnson.
And that's not even
it's
related
also
to
wrong.
it.
Nah.
Fuck J.J. Abrams is really what you would say.
So
Rise of Skywalker is trash, and you're trash for liking it. Even though I have a Rise of Skywalker.
Last Jedi is the worst.
That's wrong. I have a Rise of Skywalker tattoo.
Oh, no.
now Revenge of the Sith, I would say. Is worse.
No,
What?
I'm with you,
Okay,
Jay.
no,
All right, we
no.
can find
Fuck off with
truce in this.
that. There are some
Are
bad
you about to
parts.
say the Clone Wars?
No.
No, but
Then
Revenge of
what
the Sith
fuck
isn't the
what
worst.
What the fuck are you going to say is the worst?
Rise of Skywalker is the worst.
No, Last Jedi.
Oh, you're talking about the worst.
Last
Yeah.
Jedi.
Rise of
We're,
Skywalker.
no way
Depressed,
would we ever talk about
depressed
these
Luke
as good.
Skywalker milking aliens is pretty.
Rise of Skywalker
And
is
a
the worst.
pointless scene of pleasing the PETA people for the casino scene, a waste of time. It's bad. It's all around
So
bad.
I think
Forcing Rose as a character in a love triangle, it's bad. It's all not killing Finn when he goes into dive and giving his character some depth, bad. It's all bad.
I mean, all of the movies fit the same.
They killed my
formula,
childhood
with
hero.
the exception of one, which was in fact
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
What?
Actually, no, it still fit the same. It just killed the wrong Skywalker. Yeah, every single Star Wars has a degree of mentor figure dying, prominent piece in there, be sad. We had the original people die in the trilogy there, or we had Han, Luke,
But
Leia in that
but
order.
they've proven that you can kill main characters with Rogue One and have it be arguably one of the best films.
There's a
So-
reason why Rogue One works, and that's because you are not invested
There's
in any of them.
there's no Skywalkers.
That's also why Mandalorian was good up until the very finale.
That is why fucking Last Jedi is the best, because she's not a fucking Skywalker. She's not a fucking Palpatine. She's a nobody.
She is a
She's a
Palpatine. Oh, you don't know.
Not in Last Jedi. She's retconned
to be a Palpatine. To the fact that J.J.
Rey
Abrams
is
came back
nobody,
to-
and that's what makes Last Jedi so good. That's bottom line. That's the reason right there. I know I'm just shouting. I'm so sorry for shouting in the microphone.
So loud. They're
Yeah.
just.
You got a lot of feelings.
I get pumped. I said I have a fucking. I'll watch fucking Rise of Skywalker again. I have a tattoo from it. Like, I love Star Wars just inherently.
Okay. So that's
Even Darth Jar Jar.
Oh, Darth Jar Jar is the best part of Star Wars.
So the
the underlying
One
prequel
moment.
theory. Hold on, it's not even really
No,
that.
no, we agree on this.
No, there's actually evidence
That
in
he's-
in scripts of him being
Yeah,
actually
that
Plagueis?
Jar Jar is in fact Darth Plagueis the Wise.
yes,
Yeah, I agree. It's a tinfoil hat theory, but
absolutely.
we all agree.
Mhm.
Because if you watch that YouTube special or
Oh,
clip of it,
that like 45-minute video.
where they show all the things that like
Yeah.
Jedis do and
Yeah.
like how he's manipulating the
He's
Senate
got
with
the,
the
he's got,
Force.
like the drunk monkey fighting
Yeah,
style.
all of
Like,
it.
oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
a great
yeah.
video.
I love that
YouTube
video.
that video.
I'll put that in the description.
There we go. So we've all decided that
It's not tinfoil hat. It's just
Also,
actual
there's
truth.
just
Lucas quoted in the interviews saying
oh yeah.
the actual
There's
master.
there's more to Jar Jar than you.
Yeah, and he says the master in these stories are always the bumbling fool you find on the side of the road. Yoda, when you meet
Yoda
him,
was,
is
yeah.
a bumbling fool. He's hitting R2 and trying to steal a fish stick or something. Like he's
which
just
is ironic
he's-
because he knew R2.
He does. Yeah, well, that's a retcon thing too. But still, yes, he knew R2.
And that said, though, maybe he was doing it just to go and be like, I don't know who this Skywalker is, but despite the fact that Yoda is also fully aware of who Luke is.
And Anakin too.
And
obviously.
Anakin.
He fucking, yeah.
He knew all of these things, and yet he still, maybe it was
the only argument about it not being a retcon is that like most of the prequels were kind of half written by George Lucas before Return of the Jedi came out.
Okay, so Star Wars is yours. What's yours? You have a piece that comes to mind that like I'm trying to think of something that like really moved me.
I mean,
Arms hurt so
I'll
bad.
say originally, just don't be weak.
Smells like bitch in here.
We just did the gym too hard. And I've been
Nonsense.
trying to stretch out for like a week.
So, probably film, which I'd say is one of the most impactful films, I guess, to me. And it's not even really that good of a movie. Big Fish.
That movie sucks.
Guess what? Tyler, the Creator, is trash.
You don't believe that. No, people believe that. No, Big Fish doesn't suck, but it's like one of the lesser. It's one of my lesser. Not the worst for sure. Not.
Well, the good point is that it ain't about you.
I'm trying to think if there's a
Everything's
film.
about me.
trying to think if there's a film.
We're all in a simulation, and I'm just the viewer of said
There's
simulation.
music. There's probably definitely music that's
Um,
moved me
So
or
then what would
songs.
be-
I'm just trying to
I
think
was
of-
I was going to go through different art forms of film,
Yeah, I'm trying to.
films, literature, like produced art, I guess, or like an actual. I don't know if you've ever actually. I've never stood in front of a painting and been like, "That's moving."
I have.
I have.
Oh,
I've been to the
Which-
MoMA. At MoMA, there's a couple.
Yeah.
I've been to the fucking Louvre and like
Oh, Mona
I
Lisa.
didn't,
Not
I didn't
movie.
get I don't know shit about the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, it's not moving.
Oh, he's in the
That's not-
fucking Van Gogh Museum.
Just
Those
wa-
were good.
It's also the
Like,
Mona Lisa is also the size of this cracker box,
Yeah,
by the way,
yes.
guys. Just so you know,
fun
fun fact.
fact.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
cut down so fucking much.
just like walking through like the
So
Grand
is,
Hollywood to Wadsworth. Like there's
Van
something
Gogh's,
about that atmosphere.
Night photo.
Oh
Yeah.
Starry Night.
Starry Night's
very
tiny. The sunflowers, the like red chair or something, is also pretty tiny.
Yeah.
One of them is actually very large, and I think it's like the one that has like yellowy, orangey fields, and there's like a house on it. To the point that there was a mob of people around it at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam,
Jesus.
and they were like, "You can't take photos." Everyone was just taking photos.
Of course, it's taking photos.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There's,
Yeah, like-
if there's art, or that, but definitely people that influence me that I want to emulate, and their actions.
Jefferson.
Their,
But would you
not
say?
so much Jefferson, but their actions move me. Paul Revere is probably one, but their actions and how they viewed the world and how the
Barack
enterprises
Obama.
they've.
I'm just kidding.
We glorify the dead because they can't disappoint you.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So back to Big Fish though. So the reason why I react that way to Big Fish is that would you say that's your favorite Tim Burton
No.
film?
No.
Why bring it up then?
Because it wasn't a matter of what is the best or something that's famous for.
You think it's like an underrated one that affects you?
Honestly, most people I know who like Big Fish
Is it
all say like something about it, just like it strikes a chord.
I don't hate it. I actually do like it.
But like with it, I
I
appreciate.
reacted strongly just for the meme. I don't really feel that. I don't feel that
So
way about it.
with it, I think part of the reason I like it is how the art of narration is actually shown through it,
Mhm.
and like
The father-son relationship is
built through it as well, and the power of storytelling that's there.
Does that touch you specifically though? Like,
I mean, I'll show you on the doll where it touches me, but not even really. Like, I don't personally resonate with a traveling hand salesman who like buys a town where fucking what's his name, creepy dude. He had crazy eyes in Mr. Deeds. I'm spacing on his name.
There's some movies that
Steve
emotionally.
Steve Buscemi, thank you. That like he's some famous poet who can't leave the town of Spectre. Like, there's a lot of stuff in it that I'm like, this is absurd.
this
is crazy.
those are the elements I
There's
like
some
about
movies
it.
that definitely
there's-
hit you. Like,
There's something about it that like,
It's a little saccharine for me. That's what I would say.
but
what about some of the scenes in like a movie like, if you guys even saw it, but 7 Pounds
I would say.
I know
I
it's-
know
it's-
I would
with
say
Will Smith?
That's heavy.
It's heavy,
Yeah. that's-
especially at the end when he okay, spoilers. Do we care?
it's an older movie. That's fine.
Okay, like it's fucking deep.
Spoiler alert if you were going to watch
Or
7 Pounds
with
tonight.
Will Smith, yeah. But the end scene where he just it's kind of grinding to watch. He gets into the tub with the jellyfish, and they just like literally kill him, shock him to death. Like it's like, and he just endures. It's just
You know what's much more,
Like, there's
that,
just
that
scenes.
kind of realm of Will Smith, that time period for
Yeah.
acting.
Pursuit of
was,
Happiness?
Pursuit of Happiness.
also a powerful movie.
Very
In the
powerful.
stall where he's just like holding
Yeah.
back with his foot.
That
like,
one, yeah, that
like,
one,
and he's
that
just-
scene broke me. I was
Yeah.
like, holy
I mean,
shit.
based on an actual dude.
Y'all watch
Yeah,
Basic.
based on an
Movies,
actual
so.
person. Yeah.
But
Yeah, but they
The
appeal
fact
to
that we're
the
talking about Big Fish, the Pursuit of Happiness.
no, that they
I'm
appeal,
sorry, it's all not.
but they
the
appeal to
Antichrist
base
and
raw. They
all of it.
Jean-Luc Godard films, let's go.
they appeal to
You
base
wanna see
raw
Mama
human
Mama
emotion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some
So-
of the films I watch.
We could have the same argument. Opening 10 minutes up. You ain't getting through it without crying. You're not getting
Okay,
through it without
everything you
crying.
guys just said, I can put that in one category, and the opening sequence of Up is fucking a masterpiece.
It's.
Whew!
I was a grown man
One of the best pieces of art ever. of all
crying
time.
in a
Not
theater.
single
In
thing
my
was said.
clearly objective and impartial perspective on art.
Yeah, no, that scene would make any grown man cry. It's
No, it's fucking good.
ridiculous.
How do you guys feel about Wally?
It's good.
It didn't move me.
A little overrated.
I concur. Very good, funny, entertaining, cute.
Yes,
It's
very
it's,
good. I mean,
it's
but-
kind of
good
like
at-
this their generation's short circuit a little bit in
It's-
terms of the
yeah.
robot, you know.
It's good. It's good in like the fact that like every Pixar movie is good. There's no bad Pixar movies. So
I mean, I'll still say I think when it comes to Pixar movies,
did you disagree?
I'm trying
yeah,
to think of one.
he agreed with you on that. Wally was a little.
No, I was saying, did you disagree that there was no good Pixar movies?
I'm trying to think if there's one
bad ones.
that
I'll
it's
tell you
like,
right now, the only scene
I
that
can't think of
broke
one.
me, like not
Cars,
the only
maybe.
scene.
Cars is my
Cars
least
is
favorite.
kind of Cars. I'm
Cars
not
is pretty-
But it's still pretty. It's a still good movie.
yeah, it's fine. It's just
It doesn't stick with me. But
Toy
I
Story
would-
3.
Terrifying.
oh fuck it, Toy Story 3 is amazing.
So
The death. We talked about
the
this,
incinerator scene and just everyone
Watching
is
toys.
resigned, watching toys,
you know?
realize
Yeah.
this is the end, but at least we're going out
And
together.
they do this whole
They just
thing.
hold hands and like
Oh, that's right.
they just go.
Why am I not remembering
I
this?
fucking that broke me, and I was like, holy shit. To now the
It's-
point
it's
that
deep.
there's a meme that I send around to everyone. That's like the progression of Toy Story films. It's like Toy Story 1, toys get into adventures when you can't see them. And it's like Toy Story 2, toys' adventures get a little more dark when you forget about them. Toy Story 3, the acceptance of death. Toy Story 4, living in abject horror that your life is manufactured and none of it has meaning.
And that you can create.
And that you can create life on a whim. Toy Story 5, Woody goes to heaven and kills God. And I was like,
So,
yeah, I'll watch that.
Yeah, I'm trying to
yeah.
think if there's a
What would be God even?
film.
Well, they've already established in Toy Story 4 that it isn't humanity that creates life. They can create life.
It is the persistence of toyness.
Studio audience, what is the most impactful Pixar movie and objectively the worst Pixar movie?
I have to specifically look up Pixar.
Shrek's still absolutely.
Oh,
worst.
Shrek is also
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
That was a joke.
It's also not that bad of a movie.
Oh, that's pretty good.
The other ones, I didn't ever really.
You said what was the best and worst, and I just said Shrek.
Most impactful.
Shrek is witty.
Pixar.
And just like objectively
And the-
worse,
the
like
one-
a
It's
miss.
got the hero's journey. Like Shrek is the hero's journey as
the
tight
original Toy Story.
as you can tell. You know?
Is most impactful?
I think so.
Sure. It's fair.
That
For- I
Monsters
mean-
Inc. probably.
I am kind of
I
meh.
want
Monsters
I
Inc.
think-
is your most impactful.
I'm kind of meh.
I think Toy Story is more impactful, but I'm saying like top two would be.
Is this like
Toy
a
Story,
personal thing,
Monsters,
or
Inc.
Yeah,
like
just a
a-
personal thing to like you. Like,
Oh, so
I mean,
We're not bracketeering
Personally-
tonight.
yeah, no, it's just
We're
like
not going to
let's-
shout at each
what do
other
you-
for half an hour. So
Yeah.
Oh, you probably still.
I'm I get hype. I'm a hype beast.
Oh, yeah, no,
Oh, you want to know one of the
personally-
shorts? It's one of the shorts are the secret artistic because usually there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
It's like two animals interacting.
Yeah.
The cat and the dog. The dog that is
Oh, that's
getting beat up and abused by a dog fighting ring,
Yeah.
and these guys just like throw it and they kick it and
And there's like the army of like alley cats.
it's one cat. It lives in the trash can.
Yeah.
When the dog lives outside in the kennel, and it befriends him, but it's like nervous of him, and at first it's scared. It scratches the bulldog, and like they become friends, and that one is like that's rough. That one's a rough one.
There is a short which I think is Pixar, but I'm not 100% sure. It's a French one, or it seems like it's a French-esque thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this woman getting a record player like from her neighbor, and like it's playing like normal life, but she bumps it, and like it goes back, and she de-ages. And like she just jumps down to being like
Pixar?
10 years old. I think it's in that same animation style.
Okay,
So,
so,
like, I think it is.
looking at these lists,
But it's like she then like is playing with it and like aging herself.
Yeah.
And then she like sneezes and goes too far.
Guys.
okay,
And she's
so I have
too decrepit to like go towards it, and she dies.
I have two that
Like-
that are one. Growing up as a kid, Finding Nemo was my jam.
I think
But-
it's overrated.
Overrated.
It's over. I love to watch it. But if we're
I
talking
don't
about
hate- it's good.
if we're
It's
talking
good.
about
It's a
deep,
great film.
if we're talking about deepness and level of like making kids think about things that are really happening in the world, Coco.
Coco's
Coco-
good.
Coco is
Coco
good.
is
Coco's
It's
Also-
dark and it's
but it doesn't-
macabre
but-
and it's
I don't have. It's really good.
I haven't seen it.
It's not in my personal heart wheelhouse for Pixar.
it's like
So
in the
there's-
short window of the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, it's
It
really good.
transfers over
It's
and the kid
really
gets
good.
sucked into the dead world,
But
and
there's-
they're all skeletons and they have the face paint like the sugar skulls and stuff like that. And it's,
So there's a quote that says like you die twice, when you actually die,
And when
and then
your
the
name
second
dies.
when you're no one the last person says your name.
Yeah, it's a name. So it's what your name, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. And like Coco kind of like goes down that route, being like,
Yeah,
you know, you're still alive so long as you have family.
well,
to
that's
remember
the theory of Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah. And that's why there's sort of remembrance towards.
I gotta
that
watch
part.
it again because I watched it once, but like, I was at a
It
party.
is very good. I forgot about Coco.
I really want to show you guys something. I don't know if it's like appropriate to do it on stream, but like it's really short. It's a minute. It's a minute and 1 second. Would you guys feel comfortable coming over here and watching something with me?
sure. Is it? I mean, I'm
It's
trying
1
to find
minute long. It's just a Satoshi Kon
Maybe,
short.
maybe that cat dog one is
Is it the
not
school?
It's Ohio.
the cat
Oh,
dog one
that's
is not
the
Pixar.
like the loop. I've seen this.
I thought it
This
was.
is very very good.
I want.
Satoshi Kon is a phenomenal
He's
filmmaker.
one of my favorite
What is it?
animators of all
One of the-
time.
one of the
He's-
best
Rest in
animators.
peace, Satoshi Kon.
Yeah.
Come over here.
All right.
Yeah, I have seen
Bye,
this.
everybody.
It is very very good. For those watching, Satoshi Kon, Ohio.
I'm gonna put it on stream.
Perfect.
Give me a
So
second.
now let's just fade out to a single photo of me
And porno.
down the elevator. Satoshi Kon.
Now we're broke.
Now we're done.
I like the idea of doing this sort of thing, like on some level of regular basis too. So just, I like sharing media with people. It's like my favorite thing to do in the world. I love OBS. It's so easy to fucking manipulate. All right. This is Satoshi Kon's Ohio. It's a little short. It really encapsulates his
It's a minute
style,
long.
his
All right, here we
substance.
go.
Only
It's a minute long.
Here we go.
Um,
there sound?
Please have your audio up.
I'm familiar with this.
Did Satoshi Kon do Paprika?
Yep. Generation.
Yeah, and Blue.
She is transparent. You can see through her. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's showing repetition.
Ohio.
That's it.
Interesting.
Let's watch this now. No.
No.
Interesting.
Did I miss something really important?
No, just the
Okay.
1 minute short for animation style on it.
Does it? You know why I showed this?
You do.
I really like. You're talking about shorts. I really like the idea of a short, thematically and also artistically, because a short requires you to put so much information and thematic depth into.
Into 4 minutes. Here we go. You know, if it's a short,
Or this,
1 minute.
This is 1 minute. You know, it's like you got to really take something and tell it. You got to tell something very quickly, right? And there's something beautiful about it, poetic, really, about preciseness of that. I legitimately mean poetry.
It's
because
very-
poetry is precise.
It reminds me of the subreddit of horror stories in 2 sentences.
Yep.
It's
Yes.
like you got 2 sentences to scare the shit out of someone and make them really uncomfortable.
Well, you know the famous Ernest Hemingway story.
The Last Man on Earth.
No, it's a 6-word story. It's what is it? For sale, baby shoes never worn.
Ooh, yeah,
Ernest
that's
Hemingway.
rough.
Yeah,
That's pretty rough.
and I love the idea of super precise storytelling like that. I mean, it's what draws me to think because I've dabbled in poetry a lot in my life, and also really short filmmaking, and I love the idea of really needing to tell something very quickly and very succinctly and having impact very quickly.
Which is very funny because that is not this podcast.
No, it's not my. This is out my wheelhouse for sure. I did,
Like, hey, we have a topic. Let's go about it the
Professionally-
longest way
So
possible.
how do we tie this to
Professionally,
cryptos?
I did a lot of music videos for a long time. That was artistically the farthest I got in the industry was music videos.
Sure, you got 3 minutes of song,
Exactly,
to tell a story or show some imagery that's gonna
Yes, you got it.
make
exactly.
you think. Yeah.
And I love the restriction of it. Right. That short film is one of the most important short films ever made. Honestly.
Here's a question: if you, as an artist, if you can't
I
tell it in 3 minutes, is it worth telling? You know what I mean? Like if the goal is to tell this story in 3 minutes and we can't do it, is it worth?
Yeah, of course it is.
Is it worth abandoning the story and trying something different?
It's of course it's worth telling. It's a different approach. You know.
Yeah, I think that there's something to be said that, I mean, for fuck's sake, James Joyce was paid by the word, and
Well, I wouldn't want Bill Burnham's inside to be shorter. I wouldn't.
would you want it to be longer?
No. It's pretty fucking perfect, guys.
Damn near perfect, huh?
I
All
know,
right.
I know I'm hyping it
So
up.
is it the Oberon to the perpetually
To
pursuit of?
the Bo Burnham specials? It is the Oberon Bo Burnham specials. It is. He's been working towards this his whole life. That's what I would say. That's if you go into watching it for any reason, think of that.
Interesting.
I'm getting really emotional about art right now. So
Well, Kelsey, to put you on the spot for a second, what would you say was the most impactful Pixar film or short to you?
Pixar film or short?
Yeah.
Wally.
not bad.
Wally 100%.
Third.
May I ask why?
I just like the statement it makes about,
The Earth.
and Earth.
And humanity.
It kind of hit home about what a future could be.
I mean, if you're looking at, here's a weird question with companies. Really, a lot of them kind of coming to the realization is like, wow, we can actually. A lot of people can do their jobs at home. You know, Wally has everyone sitting in a chair all day. They have them eating all day. You know, it's like is there a
Consuming.
consuming? Is there
Consuming,
and
no.
we don't have to even get out of bed now. I can have something delivered by Amazon on my doorstep that day in the morning, and I don't even have to sit up. I have an automated thing that goes
I just had-
and brings my
You
fat
can have
ass
a-
up.
You can have a sex robot that also just
Yeah, it's
Here's
everything's
something
automated. I
to
don't have to leave. Eventually, the beds are just going to have a hole in the bottom that opens up and just fucking shit, and then
But we-
underneath it,
the
funny
thing
a
is-
trap.
But is that
my
the goal we should be pursuing?
also my reaction to that is that we kind of have half that potential now. And what do we all want the most? Look at us right now.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at this roving
We're all
gang
just
of-
fucking here because you're not even you're not even on the podcast on a good
Good
game,
thought.
but you want to
Not
be
me.
here. Like that's
Not me.
there's
I'm here
something
for
to
Kelsey.
sure, but whatever. But I'm saying there's something to be said about us just wanting to be around other people.
Interaction.
We could be
Yeah.
doing fucking nothing, and we just want to be around other people. There's a reason for that.
I'll say in
I mean it.
I guess I'll take this as a non sound or I don't know what the right word choice is, an unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
That is the reason why I don't play online games with other people.
It makes sense to some extent.
On his phone, he was
Right.
playing Arena earlier, so don't
Oh.
let him lie to you folks.
No,
not
so
his
even
friends,
that-
not his friends.
No, even on that, I don't give a shit what the other person's doing.
So I'm saying
Their actions are just a response for me to effectively goldfish myself.
They could be a robot.
And I would not have any other. If it was a robot making the right decisions in all those plays, I would actually prefer that. Because then it's-
sharpen, steel,
yeah.
stone against stone.
yeah, versus someone who's just like, I'm going to misplay because I'm bad at doing this.
I want to miss my
Hey.
land drop for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Is that a Surface Pro or something? That
I bet.
iPad? And that because that's like Ashley needs something like that. Like to do, she wants it for her craft.
Good,
and
good,
drawings.
good podcast.
iPad's perfect.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut. It just caught my
Yeah.
attention because
But
she sees.
that is the reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you
why-
some questions after the show.
To me,
Yeah,
to me,
otherwise.
the takeaway from everything we talked about tonight, well, second half, is that there is something about art is the conversation piece between people. It really is. Like we're trying to express something to each other that we can't say with words.
Even if you can say it with words, how it's interpreted by someone else.
Sure.
I mean, there's always the three different modes of the message,
Sure.
being your intention, how it's transferred, and how it's received.
Yeah. Sure.
So like they're never going to be one and the same,
Sure.
but there's still that commonality between them.
Is Elon Musk's design of Tesla art?
Yeah.
It's an art.
His-
Is he an artist?
When you say his design, do
You know,
mean-
Yeah, I mean the
No.
team's working.
I understand. I
Tesla
understand.
No,
is-
the
no,
semantics.
it's like saying.
Is his vision artistic?
No, it's like saying Steve
Is
Jobs
there-
an artist.
there's art. There's
Sure.
art. I would say there's art involved.
There's art. So is
I
he
would.
art?
I wouldn't call him an artist in the same way I would call Satoshi Kon an artist. Because Satoshi Kon.
Is Nikola Tesla an artist and how he viewed the world
More
and,
so.
and the creation, the
I-
inventions he sketched?
More so because I think that the more direct your contact with what you're making, the more of an artist you are. That's the way I would actually describe it.
Okay.
So like that's why. So you know what I do for a living. I develop these. I don't want to get on to this on the podcast, but like the kind of software stuff I do is just very direct. Like I make something and I build the hardware that houses it. Like I have a very direct experience with what I create. I feel like that's an art form.
Okay.
I feel like if I went to go work for whatever Bank of America and like programmed a more efficient spreadsheet, it wouldn't be art, But they'd both be coding.
I mean,
I
I
don't know.
build relational databases for fun, just because they pay me to do it.
I'm not
Is that an
even
art
trying to
form?
brag. I'm
No,
just saying like
it's not.
how I feel
Not
about
in the slightest bit.
I feel like art form takes many different forms, right? But it really comes down to you having a vision or an idea and actuating it, right?
So I guess a question. I know we're kind of approaching the midnight cutoff
yeah,
for it,
yeah,
but I do have a question
Midnight
to
gospel.
kind of just mull around with you guys for it, or not just you guys, everyone here. Is the purpose of art to not really have function, a purpose? That its
No.
existence is art?
Don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
I have a really cheesy line.
I think you're saying that its form surpasses its function, possibly.
My point behind it is, if the goal of art is to convey a message or a feeling, that is one thing.
Or an
My,
Or an
cheesy,
idea,
my,
sure.
cheesy, my cheesy
Absolutely.
line here
But that is
is
a
art.
function, though.
But I'm
Art
talking
is-
about a practical. So when you were talking about building databases or programming a spreadsheet to be more effective,
Yeah,
is that just because its function out?
that could
Is it
that could be
piece?
automated easily.
Absolutely. Have you ever seen AI self-portraits?
Oh yeah,
Is that art?
No,
it's approaching it.
it's not right.
It's not art.
I think it's approaching it because we are
It's
just
their
I'd say it
depiction
is.
of.
we are just very complicated neural networks.
It's a depiction of something we created.
For now.
Arguably, you are just
Your parents
interpreting.
created you and influenced you, right? Isn't that a thing?
Not just your parents biologically,
Yeah.
but also you are just the culmination of every person you've ever met, every stimuli you've ever received. That is no different than a neural network.
In actual binary in your head, just very, very densely.
There is really, on that core level, no actual distance or no difference.
There might be, we just don't know it yet.
We
So
haven't
then when it
gotten
comes
to the
to
degree in which it's
the sentence of art is
Self-awareness is
Men-
the only difference so far.
art is meant to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed.
Mhm.
Do you agree with that statement?
I feel like it's simplistic, but yeah.
Huh?
I feel like that's simplistic.
I told you it's a
No, I
choose.
actually agree with that. It is.
Art is.
I feel like, like I
Art
said, I feel like it's somewhat
meant to
simplistic,
disturb the
but
comfortable
it
and
is
comfort the disturbed.
accurate.
Art is essentially
better than the first bottle.
It really is, like, actually much
Essentially,
better.
this is the message. That's all it is.
All right, so we're gonna. By this time next week, we have our homework is to watch
My-
Escape.
my
Escape
Inside.
Inside. Sorry.
I would love to talk about this again. I really would. My next topic when I come back around here is going to be something to the effect of how creativity and love, how much of it is like construct of humans and how much of it is actually
Chemical.
exist abstractly without us.
So you're telling me that
Can
you
it exist
believe in a
abstractly if
thing
we're not
called
there to
love?
observe it?
Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
The chance we can make it now.
Look into the sun.
I fucking hate that song.
That is Red Cow. We're your hosts.
No, this is-
Ashley wanted to put that on the wedding playlist.
Oh, Ashley.
I vetoed it off.
Ashley, if you're watching, please. put
She's
it on
not.
She's not. She's asleep.
She's asleep.
Please,
But I vetoed that song.
Ashley,
I
when
hate
you
that song.
watch this later on, please put it on your fucking wedding playlist.
I was gonna be like, just skip this week's
And
episode.
get married in that jumpsuit V-neck.
Oh my
The
God, I
deepest
hate that
of
song.
these. It
It's
is like
so
his
bad.
belly
I
button.
have one last
Crazy.
thing to say.
We're your hosts. I'm Travis Pajolic,
Tanner Hall.
Jake Rudder.
and we have a live studio audience.
Sal Antonio.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Fucking smash that subscribe button.
Suggest wine.
Turn on that like button.
Yeah,
Suggest cheeses.
absolutely. Suggest cheese.
Chelsea.
Suggest wine. It will almost objectively be better
Also,
than most of the wines we've had tonight.
suggest topics.
Sure.
You know,
We'll
if
take
it's something you
anything.
want to hear about. We'll talk about
Please,
it.
we're desperate to tag.
Yeah, we're getting to hoarding. It's getting deep.
Yeah.
Good night,
Bottom of the
guys.
barrel. Good luck, guys.
We
Just
love
where
you.
that wine came from.
We all love
Bottom
you.
of the
We
barrel.
miss you.